My voice is...
The Jeff Vicario Show.
Bedroom rockstar, picking up your sock star, plastic gangster, stacking shells and Asda, underachiever, daydream believer, ripped jeans, late teens, microwave your baked beans. You wanna change the world. You wanna change the world. You wanna change the world. You wanna change the world, but your mom won't let you.
Good evening, everybody out there. This is Jeff Vicario, and this is the Jeff Vicario Show. Of course, it is the only show I do. It's November. Is it 10th? No, 17th. 10th. I'm not sure. Let me check. I've been pre-recording shows. Well, I always have. Yeah, it's the 10th. Yeah, I was planning the 17th. Yeah, that's how it goes. I mean, I've got generally when I'm recording a show, I usually have at least one other show sort of pre-planned. So I may be a little bit confused as to where I am with regard to the songs that I'm going to play and what day it's going to be when the show comes out. Anywho, how's it going? I hope it's going good. It's not that you can answer or anything. I've got some music, some pretty good music as always. And now that I'm looking at my lineup, there's so many artists whose names I can't pronounce. So, apologies in advance for all that stuff. My voice is still a little bit rugged, I see. That might be because I'm sitting in this really awkward crouch in front of an old wooden school desk. This is my son's. I borrowed it. I also have a comfy chair, but I hope the Spanish Inquisition is not gonna show up and start torturing me with cushions. Although I would welcome a visit from some pythons, maybe. Or probably not. I generally don't want to meet my idols. I have never met one. And I don't know, it's just a really awkward thought even, let alone if some dude I looked up to when I was a youngster, you know, some Steven Tyler type deal, or Ozzy or someone. It would probably be profoundly embarrassing. Oh, anyway. Myla Vi. This is the first one I didn't check. Myla Valentina, as she used to be known, has done a bit of an about turn since she was last on the show in whenever it was. June, maybe? July? I don't know. It's been a couple of months. She goes by the name of Myla. I would assume it's Myla V-I-E spelled, or Vi, either one. And she's got a new single. It came out yesterday, November 9th. And it's called Real Love. And it's going to be the first song of this show. It's going to start playing any moment soon. Welcome, one and all. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this awkward and weird, but musically wonderful show on the ever-expanding and awesome SLE Radio.
Listen, when you hear my name, do you scream inside? ready, better get your things and come on over to my place. No saving face, get into your desire. My body is hot on fire, ain't got no time for a liar. You're an honest man, no, no. So do what you can. I'm gonna give you real love, yeah. I'm gonna give you real love, real love, real love. Baby, when the sun goes down, do you picture me in all kinds of ways? Tonight might be the night you learn I'm the only. You better lay me down. I'll take you to levels you've never been. Give in to your desire. My body is hot on fire, ain't got no time for a liar. You're an honest man, so do what you can. I'm gonna give you real love. I'm gonna give you real love, real love, real love, real love, real love. I'm gonna give you real love. I'm gonna give you real love, real love, real love.
That was Myla with Real Love, the brand new single that came out yesterday. Oh, I'm starting to get all sort of professional radio like with the pronunciation here. There's some noise in the background. Don't be alarmed. That's just somebody putting a bed together. These things happen. Sometimes it's seagulls. Sometimes it's construction work. Sometimes it's a washing machine in the spin cycle. But what to say about Myla's reinvention or continuation of the thing that she was already doing? Except that from the moment those scratchy, slightly not discordant, but slightly dirty keyboards entered into the audio picture, I thought this is going to be good. And indeed, it was. Her voice is just something magnificent. It's a given that when she sings something, it's gonna be good. So it's just a matter of what kind of a vehicle, a song she has chosen to use as the backing for that magnificent voice. And it was a very, very good song. Kind of is that, I don't know what that sort of rhythmic vibe was, trip-hoppy maybe, something. A little bit of a throwback vibe in the beat department, which is fine for an old fogey like myself. And overall, a beautiful, beautiful piece of music. And a fantastic first song of this show, the Jeff Vicario Show, on SLE Radio. I've been playing like 20 songs per show lately, and I've been overrunning. I think I had like 3 back-to-back weeks where I went over 2 hours. So I dropped a couple of songs from this week's show and try to keep this under 2 hours rather than over. I realized that my concentration, such as it is, which is not very good, even on a good day, started to flag towards the last sort of 15 minutes of the show. In the last couple of weeks have been rather difficult to get through. So I'm gonna try for something a bit shorter this time. But we have to move on. And we do move on with a song called Bad Actor. And this is by one of my recent very, very most favorite artists, which is called Pretty Voices out of Florida. US, just some great, great classic, slightly sleazy sounding rock and roll coming your way right now on the Jeff Vicario Show.
Well, shopping in the produce aisle when I see you with your risque smile and a round build, but you're so put together in my name. Well, I can remember in May, well, her hair she twirls and I'm in love with American girls. Stumbling as I try to speak, cause your number, well, it's so out of reach. When I wound you, I crawl through glass just to see you. And I want you, I'm coming up the stairs just to kiss you. Well, faster, well, I'm in love with your laughter. Faster, well, I'm such a bad actor. Faster, well, this is such a disaster. Faster, well, let's go out tonight. Well, the library, well, who goes anymore? Well, goddamn, well, is the you by the door? I'm a paperback, well, and you're a Kindle. Let's do it here, between the book, cause I wound you. I crawl through glass just to see you. And I wound you, and I'm coming up the stairs just to kiss you. Well, faster, well, I'm in love with your laughter. Faster, well, I'm such a bad actor. Faster, this is such a disaster. Faster, let's go out tonight. Well, patriot, well, the Russian swells, and I'm in love with American girls and stumbling as I try to speak, cause your number, well, it's so out of reach. And I want you, I crawl through glass just to see you. And I want you, and I'm coming up the stairs just to kiss you. Well, faster, well, I'm in love with your laughter. Faster, well, I'm such a bad actor. Faster, this is such a disaster. Faster, let's go out tonight. And faster, well, I'm in love with your laughter. Faster, well, I'm such a bad actor. Faster, well, my therapist says just to ask her, well, to go out tonight.
Pretty Voices, Bad Actor. Man, that was a great snare sound. Just that, listening to it and the way it resonates, you can hear it's been really well mic'd, and it's a really good snare. Because it has a tonality that really, I don't know. I really liked it because it was so like, I don't know. Why am I talking about a snare? Well, it sounded really good. And combined with the very, very, very well arranged, tight but loose guitar playing, which you gotta have in a song like that, right? That was very good. Again with the Hanoi Rocks vibes. I get them so much from this band. And it makes me that's so much that makes me feel good because that's Hanoi Rocks is like that was like the band for me when I was growing up because it was such a big deal to be, you know, this is the mid-'80s, right around the time they disbanded when Razzle died. I was a big major Hanoi Rocks fan. And then they kind of went away and never properly came back because I don't really recognize the version that appeared in the 2000s. That was just the wrong lineup of that group. Anyway, I wasn't going to talk about Hanoi Rocks, except to say that they're a both overrated and criminally underrated band. Anyway, Pretty Voices, what a great band. Oh, I love that vibe, that sort of sleazy rock and roll vibe. Gotta have some of that. And I've got no segue for the next one, except it's Hanoi Rocks was a Finnish band, and this next artist is Finnish. So that will have to do. I'm gonna play you some more Kizunaut now. I played a song from his brand new record, The City by the Sea, a couple of weeks back, maybe a month ago, I don't remember. This is the new single off of that album, and it's called Obsession. By the way, I believe an instrumental version of that record is about to be released sometime soon, so be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, let's have a listen to this on SLE Radio.
Through the noise
Whoa, Kizunaut, Obsession. Now, I want to say that he is to be commended for doing the vocals in that style, that sort of sleazy glam rock, and specifically sort of Finnish glam rock style, and just sticking with it. That takes some massive BALLS's to pull that off and just stick with it all throughout. Massive attitude. Great song too. And I have no doubt that if you were to just listen to this record as like a pure electronica, synthwave, whatever genre you want to, lump it under, it would work. But to have the vocals layered on top, it's like having to. Well, I haven't heard the instrumental version, obviously, but because it was such a surprise when the first single with vocals that I heard from him, California Baby, came out whenever it was last summer or whatever, and I was like, what's this? It took some getting used to. Like, is this where he's going next? And the more I listen to this record, the more I sort of dive into it, I start to get it more and more, It's very good. I love it. That was Kizunaut, Obsession. It's from The City by the Sea. Available across all platforms. I happen to know this because I asked him. Go anywhere and, it'll be there. You probably can get it as a CD as well. Who knows in this day and age. I'm gonna mangle some more names now. I've played this magnificent guitarist before on the show, so that's a different thing. It's Chris, and I'm sorry, Chris, either Scheler or Scheler. I should have checked, I didn't. And I know this is really annoying, but that I don't, and then I keep going on about it. But anyway, this song is called Damage Control. You know who I'm talking about, probably. If you don't, soon you will. I have not listened to this myself, so it's going to be an intriguing couple of minutes for you and for me as well, dear listener. Here we go. Damage Control.
Shameful evening. Go back to the beginning. to
That was Damage Control, and the sound in the background is somebody hoovering. So exciting. On the Jeff Vicario Show, you never know what's going on. Even I don't. These things are a complete mystery. Anyway, what a great modern driving rock song. I expected nothing less, but neat little twists and turns there. Things that I didn't expect, like the double time chorus, and very, very good singing. I heard a touch of sort of like Martin Gore of Depeche Mode fame, famously also the best singer in that band. Same kind of sort of super cool vibrato in the vocals, or vibrato. Just who knows? Who cares? That was an amazing piece of music. You expect from this man, you expect the guitar riffery and the solos, but what kind of always ends up sort of grabbing me most is the songwriting and the singing. Well, that's what you pay attention to. I mean, I'm a guitar player, so I listen to the guitar stuff as well, but sometimes, having been some kind of a writer myself for quite a long time, you sometimes confuse good songs with good riffs, and you can just ask Ted Nugent whether there's any correlation between the two. Oh, what a man. Made a career out of writing one good riff in the 70s. Hot takes about classic rock. Maybe I should start a separate show for those. Get really, emotional and tired and boring about old rock guys. User, US3, the other way around. User, the artist. This is a new single from User. I love it. I heard it. I had to have it on the show. Asked and received it, and here it is. It's called On and On. So let's get some more electronic vibes on here before we get some slightly different sounds in after that. The Jeff Vicario Show on SLE Radio.
Don't remember a time when the world was burning down. We keep fighting on and never put the weapons down. Just show me where this got society in chains. Like you holding on,
User on SLE Radio. I saw a question posted on Twitter a few days ago. I think the question was roughly, I'm paraphrasing here, I think it was like, is chiptune out or in or whatever? I didn't reply because I have no idea what's in or what's out, but I do love me some of that sort of glitchy, chiptuney synth sounds. Ever since I first heard that style of music, I'd never, again, I've said it before, I will say it again, I hadn't really listened to electronic music at all until like about this time last year when I joined Twitter for I don't know however manyth time, but as Jeff Vicario, and started listening to music for the first time instead of just trying to like find a community. And instead I started listening to music and then found the community, and it worked out pretty good. Anyway, what I was going to say was that it was really interesting to listen to melodies created as if they were like from some weird like 80s video game, and it's a whole other thing to hear that for the first time. And it actually put me in mind of thinking about whether something is in or out or popular or whatever. I'm certainly I can say this. I'm old enough. I'm going to be 45 in about a month, so I'm old enough to have gone through quite a few cycles in terms of what's popular. I mean, the first like really big thing for me, obviously, was grunge in the early 90s. That was such a game changer. It's kind of weird to look back at those years because, for a while, at least, it seemed anybody with a flannel shirt and a badly played riff could get a deal at a major label. I mean, I've got some real horrors in my record collection. And, I was just watching an old DVD, like a video magazine. They used to make those back in the day. Like, you would buy a VHS and it would be like a video magazine. I have a whole bunch of them. And there was a band there that was called Chainsaw Kitten. And it was so bad, so ridiculously bad. And apparently they were on a big label back in the day. They were like this sort of, such a horrible rip-off of everything that was wrong about grunge or music in general. Anyway, major digression. Let's get back to User. The song was magnificent, beautiful, and that's why I wanted to play it, obviously. So, I wasn't going to start talking about grunge. What's wrong with me? But anyway, the whole point of his rant, such as it is, was to say that having all that perspective and, not really having to worry about whether something is cool or not, certainly not on this show, or with the music that I make, for that matter, is that, everything new is just something that you can take with you and keep forever. There's never any need to let go of something. I still like everything I ever did. So for me to be this old and discover a whole vast genre with subgenres and, things that I never even knew existed, which is synthwave and its, various offshoots, has been amazing. And now I get to take all this with me going forward. I'm just waiting for the next thing that I'm going to discover. Send me a suggestions on a postcard. No, seriously, maybe send a postcard to your grandmother or somebody more deserving of it. Anyway, let's listen to some punk. I've got a brand new collaboration between Clare, Estelle, and the ex-friends. And this song is called Pleasantly Enough, When I Die, I Will Die in a Dustbin, featuring lyrics written by Clare when she was in kindergarten or something, or school. And anyway, it's going to be a fun blast, and it's going to be short and sweet and to the point. Let's have a listen.
When I die, I will die in a dustbin. When I die, I will die in a dustbin. The banana skin was very thin, and I tripped over it this morning. I got covered in soot from head to foot, and then I fell sick. When I die, I will die in a
Clare, Estelle, and the ex-friends. When I die, I will die in a dustbin. Well, that was great. Having heard quite a few songs with Clare singing, that was, to put it mildly, a surprise, I guess. I'm not surprised. She's very multifaceted. So, I had no doubt that a punk song with her on the vocals would work, whether it would work. I knew it would. It's just I didn't expect it to be that awesome, I guess. Good. I'm mangling my words here. That sort of over the top fun vocal delivery that, like, what I'm trying to say is that I've having listened to all these really carefully composed, magnificent works of art, like what was the one? The Storm song. I'm gonna forget the name of it, and somehow on all these pieces where it's really exquisite and carefully phrased and everything, and then to have, in contrast, to have her just scream her head off. Oh, that was good. And the backing too from the ex-friends. Well done. I want an EP of this. Please make more. Seriously, how long would it take you? Like, what, a week? Just write more songs like that. I'm sure, Claire, you have more lyrics in your desk drawer that you wrote in school. So that was amazing. Thanks. Seriously looking forward to maybe hearing some more. And if that's just the one-off, then never mind. Play the hell out of it, people. That was a great song from Clare, Estelle, and the ex-friends. Yeah, great collab. God, it's always good to have some punk here. The Treasoner show should definitely play that. Well, they may already have. Anyway, let's go to Wales. I haven't paid my respects, or maybe I have. I don't know. I've been forgetting to mention this. That they are my overlords. I have to please them. Please them. This is something I hadn't ever heard before. Jay sent me this. This band out of I will check it, but I forget. It is Wales, but I was just gonna check the town. Anyway, it's called Ghost Lawns, and the song is rather intriguingly named FFOI, and I don't know if FOI means freedom of information or something. I have no idea, but this is an amazing piece. Just let's do this thing where you get a total mood shift and a song that's about 4 times longer than the last one. And let's just listen to this, because this is amazing, seriously amazing music. This is Ghost Lawns with FFOI. Ghost Lawns, a song called FFOI. They are indeed from Wales, from Cardiff. I should have remembered, but I didn't. There you go. Well, I loved the drumming on that one. It's just one of those amazing experiences. If though the Pretty Voices song had a great snare sound, this one had a kick that resonated through all the, bits and pieces of technology that have carried it from when the drummer hit the pedal to where I am listening to it now. And it just had so much character and definition. And it sounded amazing, and it obviously, the drumming is what sort of kept the momentum going there. What a great band. You got a kind of definitely a live feel of the way they play together. There seems to be, you can kind of keep this image in your head where they're in a circle, just playing essentially to themselves, and then the rest of us just get to wallow in the magnificence of their output. A great song, very intriguing combination of different things, kind of hypnotic and strange, but in a good way. There's only one kind of strange, I guess, and that is the good kind. Or not. You never know. I certainly don't. I just open my mouth and words come out. I was thinking about coming up with a tagline based on the one that Gin and Tronic has, which is I press buttons and sounds come out. And I was gonna use one for the show, which was basically I open my mouth and words come out, but that kind of but I have venture a guess that maybe Gin and Tronic puts a little bit more effort into his music than I do for this show. Anyway, the Horrornauts. I am happy to say that I discovered them all by my lonesome. Well, not really. I mean, I think they followed me on Twitter, and I went to listen to some of their music. Anyway, the point is, they didn't send this to me. I just went and listened on Bandcamp and thought, I like this a lot. They had a couple of releases there, and this is a song from I forget the name of the album. A Night with the Horrornauts. I believe this might be their first release. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The band is called The Horrornauts. The album is called A Night with the Horrornauts. And the song is called Enter Horrornauts. And this is the Jeff Vicario Show. You've entered it quite a while back, but in case you just did, that's where you...
Supernatural, dangerous, ever since the start. Oh boy, hope somebody prays for us, my little sour sweetheart. Listen, Father, she's the seventh daughter, and I'm no seventh son. Well, if the water gets warm, hotter, you might burn someone. In the dirt out back of the church, in our Sunday best. Rose of death from the rose beds, put a heartbeat back in your chest. Smooth talking, got 'em all up and walking. Electrified, reanimated, all you go, captivated, all of life come alive. Supernatural, dangerous, ever since the start. Oh boy, I hope somebody prays for us, my little sour sweetheart. Only rollers think the walls are closing in, but I'm okay. You can't cut it with your mouth on shut, it don't matter what you're trying to say. Listen, Father, she's the seventh daughter, and you know I'm the seventh son. But if that water gets warm, hotter, you know burn someone. Supernatural, dangerous, ever since the start. Oh boy, I hope somebody prays for us, my little sour sweetheart.
The Horrornauts. Enter Horrornauts. Maybe, possibly, would have been more appropriate on last week's show ahead of Halloween, but I don't care about Halloween all that much, to be honest. I care slightly more about Christmas, even though I have to say it's easily the most stressful time of the year for me. It's been a good decade since I last had an enjoyable one. It's just so stressful. Anyway, I'm gonna promote a forthcoming episode. I did the math, and it should be show number 32 of the Jeff Vicario Show. And I'm gonna do a special Christmas song themed broadcast then. And I've already tweeted about this, but I'm gonna keep reminding you artists out there to send me your Christmas songs. They cannot be covers. I'm gonna be only playing original Christmas themed songs from whomever. It can be as good or as bad or as awful or as sentimental and beautiful. Anything goes pretty much on that show. But I'm gonna be doing that. Send me your songs. JeffVicarioshow@gmail.com. You can send me anything else as well if you like. There's like a couple of shows in between. I'm still working on my late October lineups, probably not when you're listening to this. This is one of those confusing moments where. But anyway, that was the email address. You can send me your Christmas themed original songs for that particular show, which will air on December 22nd. Or if you just want to send me your stuff. Preferably music, but if it's like poetry or maybe a sculpture, why not? Maybe a little bit difficult to send it via email, but you never know. Maybe send a 3D printer first, and then we'll see what happens. Anyway, that was the Horrornauts. Enter Horrornauts. Horrornauts. That's just the great song. Sort of manic, disturbing energy about it. Just this sort of where you can't really pin. I'm going too fast, I know. You can't really pin down all the different styles and things that they're kind of added into the mix of that weird brew that they're cooking there. But I loved it. And indeed, I think this is gonna be pretty awesome, this next song too. This is some Canadian stoner music coming your way. This is Black Thunder. Now, I couldn't find them on Twitter, so who knows whether they know they're being played, but what does it matter? I'm playing a song from their album, which is called La Fin Creata. I don't know how to pronounce that. And the name of the song I can't pronounce either, but I'm gonna try. It's called Bekenstein Limit, maybe. Second song off of that record. Fine record. And here it comes. From Regina. I don't know how to pronounce that either. Jeff mangling his words on the Jeff Vicario Show on SLE Radio. Black Thunder. Bekenstein Limit.
Watch your ghosts in front of you. Alter my range.
was like listening to like a stoner version of Rush almost. Some of those proggy riffs there, and slightly weird rhythmic things. Instead of just doing the whole kind of, we've been listening to Caius and we're gonna do stoner and copy all that stuff. Well, which is not to suggest that they sounded like Caius in the first place, because they didn't. They seem to have a whole other, their whole own unique take on that thing. I like the vocals too. Kind of, instead of relying on the, let's just, run it through a distortion so it doesn't matter whether it's in key or not. Well done, well played, impeccably well written, incredibly well written, and interesting music. You makes constantly, I said this about Gargoyle too. I think one of my favorite recent discoveries, whom I've played on the show too a couple of times, where there's this quality of in the writing and in the way it's rhythmically arranged, where it's constantly moving, shifting, and keeping you on your toes. And even though there are, repeat sections in the song, you can say there's a verse, there's a chorus, but the fact that you kind of are constantly being taken, kind of constantly blindsided a little. That was Black Thunder with Bekenstein, Limit, or Bekenstein, however you choose to say that. On SLE Radio, this is the Jeff Vicario Show. How long have we been doing this now? This is show number 26. So, what? That's half a year. Not bad. I didn't imagine getting this far. I was just reading my diary a while back. And I clearly had I had my doubts about the longevity of this. In August, September, I had several days had notes like, I'm gonna pull the plug on it. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I don't even know why I was what I was complaining about. I guess I do kind of, in a sense. I mean, it was just today when I was drinking my coffee in the morning and wondering what it is. How do I feel about this show? And I had to admit to myself that this is rather like working. It's because there are certain things that you have to do every time for this to work. I have to plan the show somewhat. At least know which songs I'm going to play. This is not live, so I have to, listen to the music, contact artists, emails, DMs, Twitter, all that stuff. Make sure I have enough music, that I have the artists, permission to play the song, etc., and then the recording, and then the post, editing, putting the file together, sending it out, doing the tweets, making sure the Mixcloud version is okay. And it is rather like work. And obviously, I'm not being paid for this. In fact, I'm kind of probably more, it's more like I'm paying for the privilege of doing it. However, even though it is like work, it's that one job that you really enjoy doing, Never would have thought it. So in this day and age, I mean, happily, I guess, or unhappily, depending on how you look at it, I do have an actual job, so that pays the bills, so I can afford to do this job that I really enjoy for nothing, which is, it's probably better this way as well. So there's less of a pressure on me to sort of deliver something particular, or appease people or whatever. I get to do what I want, when I want, and how I want, and that's more than I can say about my actual job, maybe. I don't know. That's how it is. Anyway, digression over. Let's listen to some Tim MacGregor now. I was sent this. This might be one of the. What was the name of the label? I will check it when the song plays. But this is from an album called Catamaran Selections, and I'm gonna play you a song called Fantastic Window, because let's face it, it's pretty fantastic. SLE Radio, and the home of pretty much only good music. fantastic Window by Tim MacGregor there from an album called Catamaran Selections. It's out on Shady Ridge Records. Shady Ridge Records. I presume they sent it to me kindly, a Bandcamp code and all that good stuff, which is always cool. I like having a Bandcamp library these days. I was a little bit like when I started using Bandcamp earlier in the year. I was a little bit like, ugh, do I really want to deal with this? But I think the consensus on the indie scene right now seems to be that Spotify is like the storefront window where you go and browse the wares and then you occasionally listen. And then if you actually want to like own a physical record or downloaded version, then you go to Bandcamp and buy it, which I think is kind of a neat thing to have in this day and age. I kind of like a virtual record shelf, you know, because I used to collect CDs pretty maniacally from the moment they started appearing in the stores in the late 80s or whenever it was. And I continued this collecting whatever up until like 6 years ago when I finally started using Spotify. I think it was 2014 or thereabouts. And all of a sudden, my CD and other purchasings speakage is difficult today. I stopped buying CDs, years and years ago. Just, for whatever reason. Lack of space, mainly, It's not that I have a huge collection or anything. But even, like, sticking 600-700 CDs somewhere, they take up a lot of room. So I stopped buying them. And for a long time, didn't really buy music at all. Just would stream like everybody else does. But then Bandcamp kind of gave me an opportunity to start building a collection again, and a rather cool, intriguing collection, and I kind of like the fact that I always have it with me, even if it's just a virtual one. It's still kind of nice. Why am I talking about that? Well, because the Tim MacGregor record is proudly sits on my virtual collection over on Bandcamp. Anyway, that was a beautiful, beautiful piece of music, kind of reminiscent of Porcupine Tree's more sort of ambient things from the 90s, where they would just go off on these flights of fancy without really wanting to write pop songs, which was, in retrospect, quite wise of them, since, to be honest, I never thought that Steven Wilson and company were that good in the pop songwriting thing. They were always better when they just would be relentlessly ambient and proggy. That was them at their best. Anyway, now having alienated every single Steven Wilson fan with that statement, let's move on to Forest Looper, another song sent over by Jay, recommended by him, the station master, and his taste in music is very eclectic, but underlined by impeccable taste, as I'm required to say, at least on every other show. This song is called The River, and it is not the Bruce Springsteen song, luckily, which is not a bad song at all, but so overplayed. Anyway, let's listen to this. This is magnificent, this is beautiful, this is gorgeous. Forest Looper, the song called The River on SLE Radio.
Sunny weather for today. Whatever comes my way. Take a journey far away. Whatever comes my way. Take your blues and throw them far. Hang them on a shooting star.
Forest Looper, a song called The River. That was beautiful and folky and okay. Maybe I should come up with a different term to describe a folk song other than folky. Something really pretentious, something like it had echoes of strains of a particularly ephemeral strain of black metal from Uganda. No, seriously, just beautiful is how I would describe that. A kind of vocal, that kind of style of songwriting where it's just vocal led and everything else is sort of you can't really hide. You have to be a really good singer to do that kind of a song justice, because you can't hide behind trickery, you can't hide behind layers of things that, you know, I'm not saying that anybody would do that, except I do it all the time. Oh, it's a favorite trick of mine to disguise the fact that I'm very, very, very not very confident about my singing. But that's nothing to do with this. That was indeed a song from an artist called Forest Looper, and it was called The River, and it was beautiful. And the next song is by an artist called Don Stone, yes, and it is called Wasted Time. Another song from the station archives, or database, whatever you want to call it. Recommended by the man himself, Jay. Hey, we listen is in order, I believe.
Very start, but I wanted to figure you out. So I dropped everything just because you had my head up in the cloud. Remember these words real good when I say them, cause I'm not gonna be around. You broke my heart, but stone ain't tripping, cause another bitch is loving me now. I done wasted so much time on you. Lost relationships, possessions for you. You don't give a fuck, they're not your problems, they're mine. Can't waste no more time, so to you I say goodbye. I done wasted so much time on you. Lost relationships, possessions for you. But you don't give a fuck, they're not your problems, they're mine. Can't waste no more time, so to you I say goodbye. Out with your click, flexing for the gram like I didn't even need a thing. Whoever you land next to right now, that nigga will never be me. Might be good looking with a whole lot of money, but stony will not be. Might blow up after this storm blows over, gon' bring you to your knees. I wasted so much time on you. Lost relationships, possessions for you. You don't give a fuck, not your problems, they're mine. Can't waste no more time, so to you I say goodbye. I done wasted so much time on wasted so much time. Lost relationships, possessions for relationships, possessions. But you don't give a fuck, they're not your problems, they're mine. Can't waste no more time, so to you I say goodbye.
Stone, Wasted Time. Now, that may not have been a first on the show, but certainly that kind of is that modern R&B or whatever is not something that I often play because it's not my thing, never has been, still isn't, but I have to admit that that was a very, very effective, very good song. I always tend to wonder about the lyrics though, is that because I'm maybe I'm a bit old-fashioned, but I do have a slight problem sometimes with the sort of slightly misogynistic vibe of R&B. I know it's kind of part of the lingo, and you shouldn't take it seriously. I mean, hell, I used to listen to Two Live Crew when I was a kid, you know, so I should be inoculated against that. But I guess it's just, you know, I'm showing my age a little bit. But that's nothing. I mean, and I do realize that was like nothing compared to some of the stuff that's out there. I certainly would like to think that in terms of the kind of show that this is, well, I mean, you know, there's artistic expression. You either sort of accept that any and all points of view can be expressed through an artistic medium, or you don't. I don't want to get into a debate or even, you know, I don't even really want to start musing on this subject any more than that, but somebody once put it that you either pretty much accept everything that's out there proclaiming to be art, or you don't. And it's kind of like a black and white kind of issue. It can be. I don't know. I try to steer clear from those kinds of things. I don't like censor anything that's submitted to the show or anything. I just go by instinct with regard to what I'm going to play. But this is not necessarily what I should be talking about right now. But I'm going to go back a little bit on that song and say that I thought it was really good as a sort of pop, R&B pop song, whatever, you know, genre you want to lump it under. It was really good. It had that insistent attitude-filled vibe to it that you gotta have when you do a song like that. You can't be apologetic, you know. And to be fair, whoever is telling the story there is telling it from their point of view, and relationships and the ends the way they end. It's almost never pretty. So there you go. How do you play nice in that scenario? I don't know. But let's get some groove Scoundrels on right now. This is a song called Dragon Chain, and I believe another one of Jay's suggestions to be played on the show, and it's gonna start right now. This is SLE Radio.
All right. Yes, sir. Present farm. He's working, dragging them chains around for a crime he didn't commit. Took the blame for me plus a 20 bit. Oh, the crime was mine. Yet my brother is doing the time. Thought it was an accident. I swear it was an accident. place to run. Dragging them chains. My brother's still down on the prison car. Still a dragging chain for crime he didn't do. I swear it was an accident. I swear, Lord, oh Lord, I swear it was an accident. I swear it was an accident. My brother, he took the blame. I could never repay. Oh alright. Yes, sir. That's all y'all get from me. Alright. Yes, sir. Oh, the crime was mine, yet my brother's doing the time. Thought it was an accident. I swear it was an accident. It was. My brother did the time. I'm out here living free. While he plays guitar behind bars. You know your brother's out there playing guitar. Let me let him go. We're meeting him at the gate. Father, know my story, but Almighty, don't be late. Lord Almighty, don't be late. When he come home, when my brother come home.
Well, there's an abrupt ending for you. That was Groove Scoundrels, a song called Dragging Chain. Interesting piece of music there. Kinda liked how it revolved around the bass line that just wouldn't change. And then there's a story developing over it. Intriguing piece of music from Groove Scoundrels. You're listening to Jeff on the Jeff Vicario Show. I'm still sort of sitting in a really weird, stooped, crouchy position because I'm using this school desk, which is meant for like 7-year-olds. Why am I doing that? Well, that's a good question. No Spanish Inquisition as of now, but I'm waiting for them to burst through that door any moment now. What's next? It's the seventh song of a seventh song. Seventh song of a seventh song. Well, that's not a bad Iron Maiden song at all, actually. I really like that record. That was them at the sort of height of their confidence. I mean, Iron Maiden, that's really weird. I was going to actually play you the Fair Attempts. This is the seventh song off of their most recent album, Dream Engine. Now, I've been playing this record, one song each per week, so this is week 7. I have not treated myself to the full experience beforehand, so this is just all unfolding as the shows roll on. So this is song number 7. So I don't remember, but there's probably like 3-4 weeks to go before this album is done. This has been interesting. I'm gonna do this with some other album in the future as well. I rather like doing it this way. The song is called The Pod, and it starts now. So that was more like an interlude, a little like it was like what I saw inside my head was like a camera on a track going down some grimy hallway towards something, and then things are happening in rooms left and right, and some weirdness is going on. Interesting. Again, not having listened to it beforehand, I didn't know what to expect. So I don't know what the next song is going to be like. I'm already scared. That was the fair attempts. The seventh piece of music from their magnificent and brilliant and in every way fantastic album, Dream Engine, to go out and investigate. Maybe even buy it from Bandcamp or something. Who knows? I know they are even selling CDs. I've seen one. I've seen a picture of one. I don't have one. So anyway, that was a great tune from them. These Finnish maestros of mind fuckery. Mind bendery. That sounds even weirder. Let's do some palate cleansing right now and listen to some more Catnyp. I played a song from them called Anhedonia a few weeks back, and this is a new song. Not a new song per se, but a song from Catnyp that I haven't played before. And one of these days I am going to do a cat-themed show where I'm going to be playing Still Life with Cat, I'm going to be playing Cat Temper, and I'm going to be playing Cat Bear, and I'm going to be playing Catnyp. And, I don't know. Some other cat team stuff, maybe next year, who knows. By the way, that reminds me, I have a new Cat Bear song. I'm going to be playing it on the next show, so look forward to that. Oh, the show after that. But anyway, at some point in the future, I am going to be playing Catnyp, a new song from Cat Bear, one of my favorite synth-pop duos out there. Anyway, this is a song called Sweet Petunia by Catnyp. And you're listening to Jeff Vicario Show on SLE Radio. Now, if I didn't already have a title song that Specky kindly allowed me to use in Phony Tony, that would be my contender for a new one. I love it. Sweet Petunia from Catalonia. She's gonna screw ya. I love it. The band sort of ensemble playing was magnificent. That feeling of a bunch of really sort of I don't care kind of vibed guys or girls. I don't even know who they are to that extent. But anyway, whoever plays in the song, they got a really good, that sort of tight but loose, raggedy but very together feel. And the bass tone, what a great, massive bass tone. And the vocals are so good. That kind of sort of in a higher register, just sailing above all that, but still very much a part of the thing. I don't know. That was Catnyp. Sweet Petunia. What a great damn piece of music there. Put me in a really good mood. Pumped. But anyway, this next one is not gonna. Time for a digression or a transgression. No, it's just time to introduce the song. Be a semi-amateurish professional for once in your life, Jeff. And stop referring to yourself in the third person. That is very annoying. Carnelian Trance Reprise Part 2. This is a magnificently beautiful piece of music from P.Wasy. And I'm so proud and happy to share it with you right now on the Jeff Vicario Show on SLE Radio. Again, P.Wasy with Carnelian Trance Reprise Part 2. P.Wasy. That was dreamy, well, not ambient. That was beautifully played piano. A beautifully played piano composition from P.Wasy, and it was called Carnelian Trance Reprise 2. And I loved it. It was that kind of music that puts you in a very meditative and sometimes a bit somber mood. In a good way. There's a good kind of somber too, where you're kind of reflective, not so much, you know. And I've been a bit hyper during this show anyway, so it's good to calm down as we're nearing the end of the show. I've got a couple more songs for you to play. But anyway, first, thank you to P.Wasy for sending me that gorgeous, gorgeous piece of music that I heard on Spotify, of all places. I thought, well, there's something different here. And as you can tell, if in case you happen to be a first-time listener of this show, the Jeff Vicario Show, we do go from one mood to the next on this one. And I gotta say, again, I was earlier this week, I was listening to, I've mentioned it maybe, that I don't, because this comes out on a Tuesday evening, it's 8 p.m. in the UK, but which means it's 10 p.m. over here in Finland, and between 10 and midnight, that's just that unsweet spot for me. I can never really listen to the show then. Not that I like listening to myself anyway. It's torture pretty much. But I like being in the chat on YouTube. There was a really good chat this past week. I really like it when that sort of thing happens where you get a bunch of artists and their friends and everybody, even casual listeners dropping in on the chat. And Jay's usually there, kind of moderating the way things go. I'm pretty sure no moderation is actually necessary, but anyway, I like the community vibe that we get with SLE. You know, a whole bunch of shows going on, and we're kind of really all supportive of one another, and it's really nice to be a part of this. I wish I could kind of engage more, but it's just a fact of life right now that I don't have time. You know, I wish I could do like 3 shows a week, or do different like genre-specific one-off shows or things like that, or even go back to like trying to do interviews or whatnot. But I can't. It's because I mean it kind of goes back to what I said earlier about this actually being kind of like a job, in that it entails several hours worth of time that you need to devote to it every week. Otherwise, nothing will happen. It's not hard work. It's easy work. I think it's as work should be. It's enjoyable. It brings actual meaning and fulfilling vibes and, some actual real life content into something that, and contentment into something that you do. So I'm not bitching at all. I'm not complaining. But I wish I had more time, because I wouldn't want to do a half-assed version. I mean, if you think this sounds half-assed, and it probably does, imagine if I actually didn't put in even the little effort that I try to do, in as much as I try to like make sure that when I record I have enough time and everything is working and the songs are there and I don't have to But anyway, so just a quick sort of digression there into I had a show of appreciation. I wanted to thank everybody who's involved in the chats and who's sharing stuff on Twitter and whatnot about what we're trying to do here, not just in terms of this show, but the whole station. It's really cool, and it means a lot to me, and it means a lot to everybody who's contributing to SLE and trying to make it a real, true blue home of indie music and a source of sort of joy and strength to everybody in the community. Anyway, let's get a new song in, a new artist. The song is called The Old World, and the artist... Sorry, touch of the cold. The artist is called Nick Duane. Duane, yes, that's it. I had to check, so I was just cheating a little bit there. Anyway, The Old World, coming now.
you can nullify. Forced to explore this new world. Can't rely on instinct anymore. Imagine there are no limits, only plateaus within your imagination. In the old world, at least we understood right and wrong, did what we should for man and woman and the common good. Tossed upside down, we're riding on a roller coaster, forced to explore a new world. Can't rely on instinct anymore. Conquer the illusion of your fears. Smiling as we forget those tears. In the old world.
Nick Duane, The Old World. Very nice guitar playing there. Very tasty. Bit of soloing. And a great song too. Very kind of different vibe again to everything else that's been going on. I like to mix it up. Nick sent me this tune a while ago and I was really intrigued by it. Really cool. It was a really cool. The whole vibe of it was kind of like, this is different. This is weird, but in a good way. Again, whenever I say strange or weird, it's always a positive term in the Jeff land. Oh, and I like the vocals. Again, I mean, this is a frequent point of comparison for me because I'm a massive fan of the late great Scott Walker, and whenever someone hits that sort of phrasing style, my ears sort of perk up and go, there's that. Now I get to say Scott Walker again. Anyway, a couple more songs. Racing towards the finishing line. I'm lapsing into rally English here again. I have been very frequently speaking in this accent. No, I haven't. Again, it's one thing to think you can speak for 2 hours. Well, not 2 hours, but an hour. In a language that you think you know, but frequently it doth occur that I run out of words to say. Try as I might. Anyway, this is a song called Lovekills, and it's by an intriguing artist. It's called PhantomPhase, I've been meaning to play it for a while now. It's been bouncing around in my inbox, but here it is now. Let's have a listen to this. Again, something different on the Jeff Vicario Show. This is PhantomPhase with Lovekills.
I do not watch the Daily Show. I do not watch on Oliver. I got up all alone, out on an island, somewhere nobody cares for. It takes a lot to find a mate. It takes a lot to nod your head these days. I don't think Greta Thunberg is our new Lord and Savior. Why don't you leave that girl alone? Love kills as much as hate does. Your love is killing her. Passion kills just as passion when it rides the wave of passion to break on shores of paradise. I never get invited to the beach party where everybody's reciting today's most popular phrases, patting each other on the back in approval and looking around for someone to fuck who will raise their social net worth and will be a sensible choice for saving everyone's fun. Here I come to the beach like a cyclone, shouting everybody leave me alone. Hi, my name's Alba. It's hard to find yourself a mate. You have to know many equations on the science of how to date. Make sure you say still don't understand gravity, but walk like you own the earth with infallibility. Oh, I'll be here on my island waiting for the flood.
Lovekills by PhantomPhase. Now, lest there be no confusion about it, I really don't care how your album is produced or the music that you send me. It's awesome to hear as this sort of shiny sheen. That's a redundant term. The professionally shiny, beautiful, gorgeous, sumptuous production with so much reverb that it's still resonating somewhere in the universe on the way to, wherever. And then on the other hand, unless there's a song and a real person and a real sort of intent behind it, I'm not really interested. Because ultimately what I'm listening for is the person, whoever it is. You might... Sometimes it's like what I'm hearing is more like a robot mind. And, some electronic music, it's like, okay, this is like so far beyond anything human that it's that... So that kind of becomes the thing about it that resonates. But in this case, the song that PhantomPhase just presented there, it was beautiful. Sort of like a tiny slice of life brought to life on a simple acoustic strum and a sort of beautifully fragile, fragilely, is that a word? No, I'm going to use it anyway, a fragilely phrased vocal. It was gorgeous. And I would definitely want to hear more of where that came from. Even if it's just like, apparently that is a simple demo, live and direct and probably recorded on a phone or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's deeply human and deeply beautiful. And with that said, I've got one more song to play and then I'm gonna go. And this is another song from the Blank Records compilation Scratch Card. I've been enjoying that one immensely, and I'm gonna finish off with a song from that one. This is This is mangling my words here. This is a song by an artist called Brix and the Extricated, and this song is called Something to Lose. It's amazing, it's awesome, it's got attitude. This is a really good way, great song to leave the show, or whatever is the word I am looking for. Next week, tune in next week. Do tune in next week. I've got a couple of... I can reveal that I'm going to be playing some early guard. I'm going to be playing some new Leaving Richmond. I have a Cat Bear song. I'm going to be playing some... I'm going to be playing some Alice in Seconds. I'm going to be playing some Daniel Charles Cook. So, all kinds of stuff brewing for next Tuesday. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye. Listen to this song from Brix and the Extricated. It's called Something to Lose. Do check out the album from Blank Records. It's pretty cool. Very cool, in fact. This is the third song I played up of it. Thanks to Timothy Britton for sending it to me, by the way. And, this has been a rather odd and eccentric Jeff Vicario show. As always, I'm going to go now. I have to go. I really do. But I'll be back next week. Bye now.